Hello, everyone. My name is Candice Reynolds, and welcome to Introduction to Hebrew. I know that there are persons who have always wanted to study Hebrew, but they just haven't gotten around to it. Well, these videos that I'll be doing is just to give you a little kickstart into reaching your goal, into getting into doing so, and we'll just learn it together. We'll just take it step by step. And by the end of all of these recordings, all of these videos, you'll be able to read some Hebrew, you'll be able to at least know your alphabet and your vowels, and so basic things about Hebrew to get you going. And so, welcome once again to Introduction to Hebrew. My name is Candice Reynolds, and today we'll be focusing on two main things. Why is it that I need to study Biblical Hebrew? Why is it that I need this ancient language? I mean, it is so ancient. Why do I need to study it? And also be focusing on the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Enjoy. Thank you so very much for joining me. So let's go. Why is it that it's so important to study Biblical Hebrew? I can give you three reasons it's important to study Biblical Hebrew. Firstly, our Christian Bible is made up of Old Testament and New Testament. The Old Testament, also referred as the Hebrew Bible, constitutes 75% of our Christian Bible. And this section of the Bible was originally written in Hebrew. And so that is one of the main reasons why learning a language can be beneficial to you if you want to get a better understanding of what you're reading. Yes, it's already translated in English, you might say, but that's my second point. Every translation is an interpretation. So as it applies to every language, not always easy to translate one language to another language. It's not a one-to-one activity. Sometimes there are words and there are phrases in the language that is not easily translated into the other language. And so the translator at some point has to make a judgment as to how do I best communicate this in the other language. And so by learning it, you can go back to assess, did he make a proper judgment? Was it correct enough? Translators have a lot of options to choose from, and they go by their judgment to say which one, would likely to be the best one for this context, for that context. And so by being able to assess it for yourself, it helps you to see how this translator came to this final analysis, or why did he choose this particular word or choose to communicate it in this way. And thirdly, there are some gems that get lost in the translation from Hebrew to English. So, for example, in the English Bible, you would not be able to see the acrostic form that is outlined for example, Psalm 119. Psalm 119 is made up of 22 stanza, and in the English Bible, you will not see this, but for each stanza consists of 8 lines or 8 verses, and it's the initial letter for each stanza starts with a successive letter of the Hebrew alphabet. So there are 22 consonants in the Hebrew alphabet, and in Psalm 119, for each of these stanza, it starts with a single letter, successive letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Isn't that awesome? You will not be able to see that in your translation. Because that just means that the initial letter of each verse or each line starts with a letter from the Hebrew alphabet. And so when you put it together, you see the 22 consonants. I just think that is awesome. Also, um, so transferring the gem, yes. So sometimes that's why some persons say that reading reading the English version is like a man kissing his bride through a veil, because you really do not get to see some of the deeper things that you would see by just reading it from your Hebrew Bible. So in English, it's like a black and white TV, and in Hebrew, it's like the colored TV. And I know that in the 21st century, we like our colored TV. And so if you want to see your Bible in color, learning the biblical Hebrew would help you to do so. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go right into the Hebrew alphabet. Generally, there are 22 consonants in the Hebrew alphabet, and they are written from right to left. Now, originally, there were no vowels in the Hebrew alphabet. The consonants were used as vowels. The vowel system did not come into play until around 500 to 1000 AD, when some scribes who are called Masoretes of Tiberias, they developed a vowel system, but originally there was no vowel system around. And we'll get to the vowels in the next video, but for now we are focusing on the alphabet, the 22 consonants. And the Hebrew language, the Hebrew alphabet is one of the oldest alphabets that exists, and it is still being utilized. And so this is just exciting for you to know. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen, and we're just going to go through the 22 consonants. All right, so if you see my screen, you should be seeing 22 consonants. Yes, that's how your Hebrew looks. At first it looks intimidating, but as soon as you get to know what these forms, what these letters mean, you are in the clear. And so I'm just going to go through the 22 consonants, and then we'll go into more details about them. So just going to pronounce them together, right? So you have Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Wa, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pe, Sade, Kaf, Resh, Sin, Shin, Ta. You realize I said Sin and Shin? Those two are usually taken as one consonant. And so if you see 23 here, it's really 22 consonants, because those two consonants are usually seen as one, but they are pronounced differently, which is what we'll be going into now. So on the screen, you see the Hebrew alphabet, or the Hebrew letters, the letters of the Hebrew alphabet to my left. And we're just going to go through them. You have the the letter of the Hebrew alphabet, then you have its English name, then you have its pronunciation, then you have its transliteration. Transliteration simply means the Hebrew, the English form of the Hebrew letter. So it is what is the English letter of this Hebrew letter. And so that's what the transliteration is, and that's what we're going into at this moment. So first you have Aleph, and Aleph is silent, and it is written like an apostrophe going this way. So that's Aleph. The next one is Bet. Its English letter is B as in boy. Gimel is the third letter. You don't have a C in Hebrew. It's Gimel, G as in God. Then Dalet, D as in day. Then He, H as in He. You realize how these English names helped you with the pronunciation, because they sound like how you're pronouncing them. And so we're doing an awesome job. Next one is Wa, W as in way. Then Zion, Z as in Zion. Het, trying to pronounce it from my throat. It is CH as in back. Then we have Tet, T as in toy. Yod, Y as in yes. Kaf, K as in king. Lamed, L as in lion. Mem, M as in mother. N, Nun as in no. Samek, S as in sin. And you see we have more than one S in Hebrew. We'll be coming up on the other S shortly. Ayin is also silent like Aleph, and it's also written like an apostrophe, but it's written in this way. And so we have Ayin. Then we have P, P as in pastor. Sade, TS as in boots. Kaf, K as in king. Resh, R as in run. Sin, S as in sin. And Sheen, SH as in ship. Sheen, SH as in ship. The difference between sin and Sheen is that sin is written with a dot to the left, at the top left of the symbol, and Sheen is written with a dot to the top right of the symbol. And finally we have toy as in toy. So as you see, we have 22 consonants, and we have gone through the pronunciation of the consonants and the transliteration, that is the Hebrew letter in its English form, whether it's R or S or T. Right, so I'm going to show you now in Psalm 119, as mentioned before, how the alphabet is outlined. So in Psalm 119, you will see, I did not mention the 8 lines, but there are 2 lines, totally 8 lines there. And the stanza, all of this stanza begins with Aleph. And then when you go to stanza 2, all of these 8 lines begin with B or Bet, and that is just awesome. That is memorizing the alphabet is very important, and so after this video you can just go back through and memorize it. It's easy to memorize once you memorize it. So memorize the letters of the alphabet, memorize their pronunciation, the transliteration, and this is the first step in learning your Hebrew.